The chair lays before the House the following message.
To the Congress of the United States, pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, 50 U.S.C. 1701, IEEPA, the National Emergency Act, 50 U.S.C. 1601, Section 301 of Title III United States Code, I hereby report that I have issued an executive order declaring a national emergency to deal with the threat posed by the unrestricted acquisition or use in the United States of information and communications technology or services designed, developed, manufactured, or supplied by persons owned by, controlled by, or subject to the jurisdiction or direction of foreign adversaries. Foreign adversaries are increasingly creating and exploiting vulnerabilities in information and communications technology and services, which store and communicate vast amounts of sensitive information, facilitate the digital economy, and support critical infrastructure and vital emergency services in order to commit malicious cyber-enabled actions, including economic and industrial espionage against the United States and its people. Although maintaining an open investment climate in information and communications technology and in the United States economy more generally is important for the overall growth and prosperity of the United States, such openness must be balanced by the need to protect our country against critical national security threats. To deal with this threat, additional steps are required to protect the security, integrity, and reliability of information and communications technology and services provided and used in the United States. The executive order prohibits certain transactions involving information and communications technology or services where the Secretary of Commerce, in consultation with the Secretary of the Treasury, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, the Attorney General, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the United States Trade Representative, the Director of National Intelligence, the Administrator of General Services, the Chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, and as appropriate, the heads of other executive departments and agencies, has determined that the transaction involves information and communications technology or services designed, developed, manufactured, or supplied by persons owned by, controlled by, or subject to the jurisdiction or direction of a foreign adversary, and the transaction, A, poses an undue risk of sabotage to or subversion of the design, integrity, manufacturing, production, distribution, installation, operation, or maintenance of information and communications technology or services in the United States. B, poses an undue risk of catastrophic effects on the security and resiliency of United States critical infrastructure or the digital economy of the United States. Or C, otherwise poses an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States or the security and safety of the United States persons. I have delegated to the Secretary the authority to, in consultation with, or upon referral of a particular transaction from the heads of other agencies as appropriate, take such actions, including directing the timing and manner of the cessation of transactions prohibited pursuant to the executive order, adopting appropriate rules and regulations, and employing all other powers granted to the President by IEEPA as may be necessary to implement the executive order. All agencies of the United States government are directed to take all appropriate measures within their authority to carry out the provisions of the executive order. I am enclosing a copy of the executive order I have issued. Signed sincerely, Donald J. Trump, the White House, May 15, 2019.
Referred to the Committee on Foreign Affairs and ordered printed.